You can't take it with you when you're gone, so how do you make the most of it while you are here? It's time for Your Money Matters with Sam and Dieter from Harness Financial.
Joining us in the studio, and I'm sorry I can't see them and meet them in person, but welcome to Natalie Whelan and to Samuel Rees-Thomas. Natalie is the director. I think she is the creator, the originator of ACC Assist, and
That's
Samuel
right.
Rees-Thomas is the director financial advisor for Harness Financial. Welcome to you both.
Thank you.
Thanks, Michael. It's great to be here with you. And
Now, first of all, tell me why you're here and what your organisations are. Natalie, can I start with you?
Sure. So I have a background in financial services, and when the compliance changes sort of came about in March 2021, under a lot of FAP licences, they weren't allowing people to talk about ACC, but it absolutely is part of the puzzle when you're, protecting self-employed people. So I stepped aside and set up the business as a standalone company, and I specialise in that space, working with self-employed people, sole traders, and small to medium companies. And I work with them and their financial advisors so that their earning capacity is protected.
Okay, and Samuel, how does that affect you at Harness Financial? What services do you offer in connection with that?
Well, there's, as you know, a lot of negative perception around ACC, but really it's just about understanding what it's there for, understanding what your entitlements are, and making ACC work hard for you. Just as I, as an insurance advisor, make sure that income protection works properly for my clients, we need to make sure that people's ACC cover is working properly for them as well. But to do that, you need experts in your corner, and that's why I invited Natalie in today, because we as financial advisors typically don't deal with the ACC component ourselves directly, but it's an important part of the equation. And there's a few things that I really want to cover today. One, I want to talk about how a lot of people are overpaying on their levies. And that's something that you're really passionate about sorting out for people, eh, Natalie?
Absolutely.
And a few other things like how ACC policies can actually be cancelled by mistake because you've moved address. We'll talk about that. And also how it's a bit of a minefield sometimes to actually get your claim. And I also really want to touch on the fact that self-employed people in New Zealand have a lot more power over the ACC than they realise.
I am self-employed, so you're talking directly to your client base here.
Awesome.
So explain this to me, and I just fill in, or I tick a little box, Natalie and Samuel, and I tick a little box, and it tells me what it is, and then I guess I pay that sum of money. Are you saying that I've got options?
Yeah, absolutely. So for self-employed people, there is a program called Cover Plus Extra. And as a self-employed person, it is a superior, in my opinion, product for you because it allows you to nominate the level of cover that you want to have covered by ACC, and that works really well if you, so that you can align the dollars that you have to spend, because ACC is compulsory, with the statistics of when they respond, which is 30% of all disability claims. So that would include accidents, illnesses, degenerative diseases, which obviously ACC will only cover for the accidents.
Right. Okay. So, and essentially what I can do is purchase additional cover.
It's not additional. It's not additional cover. It's actually replacing ACC standard cover. Right. It's just a replacement policy. So you're either on standard cover or you can apply and go on to Cover Plus Extra. So you don't pay both.
Perhaps the best way to look at it is ACC will cover automatically a maximum of 80% of your taxable income from the last financial year as a self-employed person. That's what you get billed at. Yep. But you have the option of dialing that down to minimum wage. If you do that, then you'll save between $1,500 and $3,000 to $4,000 a year, depending on your occupation type. The more manual occupations pay more, ACC. When you get that saving, the smartest thing to do is then put it towards income protection, which covers both accident and illness. ACC only covers accident. So there's a lot of people out there that are paying $5,000 a year, sometimes even more, on their ACC levies, and they're only covered for accident when they could actually be covered for accident and illness.
And income protection.
Yeah, that's right.
So when I talk to my clients, I sort of say to them, it's not about the savings that you can achieve. Ideally what they want to be doing is redirecting the funds into an insurance program so that they have, they're covered in all disability events.
Well, actually, and again, you're talking to my wife, who actually has income protection insurance.
Yep.
And every year I say to her, why on earth are you paying that for? You've got ACC, you've got the public health system. Yeah. And you're saying to me, actually, you're wrong, Michael, and she's right.
Yeah. Look, the public system.
I'm not inviting you to my home in a hurry.
The public system is great, but of course, not if you have to wait.
Yes, absolutely right. Yeah. And so income protection insurance, well, is essentially, you're suggesting, it's not just for illness. Does it cover other things as well, like redundancy and stuff like that?
Yeah, that's a good question. You can buy redundancy cover. It only pays out for 6 months, whereas income protection can pay out to age 70.
Wow.
Yeah. It used to be age 65 when I started as a financial advisor, and now it's to age 70, and I'm sure before long we'll be able to go to age 75.
Okay. So, Natalie, the kind of people that you're helping, what sort of jobs are they in?
I have a range of occupations that I deal with. I have lawyers, accountants, financial advisors, physios, manual workers, builders, tradies. They are my perfect client, really, because they really need they don't have the resources to manage the ACC, and a lot of people don't understand how it works. Often you'll find the information on the invoices sort of doesn't at first look make sense. So often you've got to, reverse calculate to find out what the information is actually saying.
Totally.
Yeah, so anyone in that sole trader, small to medium sort of space is anyone, really, anyone.
So, Natalie, how often do you find that people are overpaying on their levies, and how does that happen?
Okay, so there's two trains of thought there. One, if someone's on standard cover, and so what the process is in that is that, say, let's look at a husband and wife business, right?
Sure.
If let's say it's a building company, so if both of them are taking a salary out of the business, even if it's a shareholder allocation on paper later in the year, she's paying a builder's levy, so she doesn't lift a hammer.
Right, so she's an admin person.
Correct.
But she's paying builder's rates.
Correct. Yep. So that's one way. And then the other way is if there's multiple income sources being taken. So it might be a PAYE income throughout the year regularly, and then a shareholder salary later on when they know how much profit's available to allocate.
Yeah.
Those levies are billed through different accounts under the main account.
Yeah.
And ACC don't seem to connect the dots that the income is going to the same person, so the overcharges can come in above the leviable threshold.
Totally. You were saying that you've recently got some massive refunds for some clients. How big?
The biggest one ever was just under 20,000. Within the last couple of years, 13,000, and so that was from a business who both of the shareholders were taking PAYE plus shareholder, and it was a roofing company, so their levy rate was massive.
Yeah, man. Well,
can I ask a question of both of you then?
Yeah.
You're absolutely right. I mean, you're talking to ignorant one here too. I mean, as I said, self-employed, didn't even know you guys existed. How do I get in contact with either of you? Can you tell me?
Well, you can get in contact with me at Harness Financial on 027 3344 or www.harnessfinancial.co.nz. And if there's a query for Natalie, we will definitely pass it on. But Natalie, what's your website?
My website is www.accassist.kiwi.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, very
Don't
good.
forget the Kiwi bit.
Yeah.
Well, actually, I just Googled you. So ACC Assist gets me to you, actually, Natalie.
Yep.
So it works well. How long have you been in the business, Natalie? Just quietly?
Well, I have been a standalone business. This is my third year, so 1 April. I started my third year of business, but I've actually been operating in this space for 14 years.
And what did you do before this? Were you working in the financial sector as well?
Yep, I was. I was a financial advisor and running a business.
Okay. And obviously, I've asked you the kind of clients that you might pick up for this, but the next thing is locale. Does it matter if I'm in Central Otago, Auckland, Northland, wherever?
Not at all.
Tell me how it works.
Yeah, not at all. I do most of my business on the phone or via Zoom if someone wants to meet with me. So...
If you're paying an ACC levy, you're a client.
Absolutely.
Yeah. And we all have to pay them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I guess that's the one good thing about what I do is there's unlimited, opportunities because everyone has to pay ACC and who wouldn't want to optimise the dollars that they have to spend in there?
Yeah. 100%. 100%.
All right. And, well, can I ask both of you, though, cost of living? There's a crisis upon us. Most businesses are saying, God, stay alive till 25 because it is tough out there. Does that then, and so everybody's going to be looking at their household accounts and going, what can I afford, what can I can't? Insurance is usually one of those things that you chop first, actually, a series of people live to regret that. What's your advice on this?
That's a really good question. There are some insurance types that you should chop first, that's for sure, but there's others that you shouldn't. The key is that you don't chop pure risk insurance. So what I mean by pure risk is there are some risks in your life that you can't self-insure for, that you can't just rely on family to look after you for, that you can't use the credit card for. So, for example, you can't self-insure for non-pharmac drugs, $250,000 a year for cancer. You can't self-insure for permanent loss of income. You can't self-insure for premature death. But you can self-insure for small things. So, potentially when you look at your house current contents and you need to save some money, put up your excess. Look at your health insurance, think, oh, goodness, I'm paying $500 a month. It used to be $250 a month. Can I bring that premium down? Yes, you can. Pop your excess up from $500 to $2,000, or you might have an excess of $0, which is crazy. Pop that up to $500. There's always better ways to structure your cover so that you're getting more bang for your buck, and so that you can buy the things that you need to, and also have a bit more fun in life. Also, with this whole ACC Cover Plus Extra thing, in some cases, depending on your age, you can actually be an extra $1,000, $2,000 better off in the hand after cutting your ACC cover and adding an income protection, because income protection before a certain age bracket is actually a lot cheaper than ACC too, which is fascinating. Because ACC is charged based on occupation, not based on age.
I think I'm put down as a writer, broadcaster, in terms of my ACC. So I can't imagine that too many people have work-related injuries as a writer, broadcaster, do they?
I would totally agree with you. Yeah, I would say in your case, Michael, it would make way more sense to prioritise cover around cancer than it would be to have a cover around, having an incident in the office. Anything's possible, though.
Well, you never know. With Sean around, it's always a chance. But it's a good thing about being in Central Otago. I could be attacked by the dog though, because I have a dog that comes into the studio occasionally.
Oh, what sort of dog? What sort of dog?
Well, to be fair, it's a Jack Russell. And Jack Russells really aren't a dog breed; they're a psychological disorder.
But the other thing to remember is that ACC will also pay outside of the workplace. So.
That's a good point. Thank you, Natalie.
And also there are other benefits with Cover Plus Extra that are, going to protect you a bit better at claim time, just with the agreed value and other benefits.
Michael, have there been any texts or questions from
No,
people?
Not on this one today. I'll wait on. I'd like to know what occupation and the sole trader will save $3,000 to $4,000 a year switching to Cover Plus.
Oh, good.
My wife and I are self-employed bricklayers. We're considered relatively high risk.
Yep.
Around $4,000 covers both of us, says Dave. So it must be a bloody dangerous job.
Yeah,
It's up to $4,000
the-
could be saved off one annual levy.
Yeah, so the first thing is ACC will cover a maximum of 80% of $145,000 a year.
It's 142,283.
Thank you.
Very good.
Okay. So that levy amount I was talking about is if you're earning above that amount or at that amount.
Yeah.
And then what are the highest risk occupations with the ACC categorizations?
Definitely those tradie sort of spaces, bricklayers.
Drain laying.
Yeah, all of that.
God bless our drain layers.
Builders are up there, horse trainers,
Right.
civil engineers.
Yep.
All right, so what I've got from this is save yourselves some money. Go and talk to Natalie. Harness ACC Assist. Just Google it. It'll get there. Harness Financial. Go and talk to Samuel Rees-Thomas. And again, that's Harness Financial spelled exactly as you'd expect. I've Googled both of you. I get to both of you. Just put NZ after you. It's been a pleasure talking to both of you. Thank you very much for offering this opportunity to us.
Thanks,
Thank
Michael.
you.
Appreciate you.
Okay,
Have a
good on
day.
you.
Bye.
Your Money Matters with Sam and Dieter from Harness Financial. To make the most out of your money, visit harnessfinancial.co.nz.